Okay, so we're gonna start out here in the entryway. Also, this whole house, or downstairs, is tiled, so there's gonna be a bit of an echo. But we're starting out here as the front door, and then this is sort of like the little entryway nook area. We did just recently get this hall tree, which I'm absolutely in love with. We found it at an antique store for $150 because, you know, it's not in perfect condition, so I imagine that's why the price was low, but I love it so much. It's in that really dark wood tone that I love. I am gonna take down this peg rail thing that I had here since I do have the hall tree now, so the pegs will be better to hang things from because I want it to look very kind of like old world, which is why I have that cane and hat hanging there. That's kind of the style that I'm going for. I hope to eventually have a collection of antique or vintage canes that I can put just in the corner over here, and then some cool like antique hats hanging. I don't know, maybe a coat. That's just what I'm seeing in my head. And then for the side, I want to take the peg rail down and then, I don't know, I guess like find some really cool artwork or something to hang there, something that I can leave up for most of the year other than Christmas time. I did do a entryway decorate with me in front porch video, so you may have already seen this. Also, if you see my ring light reflecting in things, sorry, the lighting isn't the worst in here, but I still need to use some sort of artificial light just to help it brighten up the space a bit. So I guess I'll take you this way and then we'll just end in the kitchen. This rug here I wanted to talk about. I got this off of eBay. It's a shop that sells like all kinds of rugs, and I guess they have some sort of flaw or damage. This one said that it had a spot on it somewhere, but I cannot find that at all, so it worked out great. It was only $20. I'll link that shop down below in case you're in the market for a rug, because they do have much better prices, and you can just look through the photos and see if there's damage on the one that you're interested in. So here's kind of what it looks like as you're walking through the front door. I'll show you just a little snippet of the bathroom. I'm not done in here. But this is what I've done so far. Just on this side of the wall, I've put these two pictures, and then this shelf I hung above the toilet and just added some cute little things that I like on there. And then hopefully I'll be able to finish decorating it soon. It really sucks because I want to do so many things in here, like paint the walls, add board and batten. There's just so many things that I wish I could do, but this will have to do for now. So once again, the lighting's a little dark over here, but as you enter the living room, this is what I've done in this kind of little stairs nook. I would love to be able to paint this rail and then that back one. This is the same wood as all the cabinets and like bathroom cabinets in the house. So I don't think they would want me to paint it, but I would love to do it either like a white or a cool grayish color, but oh well. I have this lamp. This is from Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. It's this really pretty kind of brass lamp. And then my collection of vintage suitcases that I love so much with an ivy plant. And then up here on the wall, I have this vintage pen and ink drawing of this little cottage scene that I think is so pretty. And then over here in this corner, I've hung these vintage silhouettes. I'm not 100% on this. I do love the silhouettes, but I don't know if I love these two right here. I recently got those vintage or antique, what are they called? High school diplomas from like 1912 or something. So I'm looking for frames for those, and I think it'd be fun to hang those right there because I really like the look of them. So these might eventually come down. This olive tree is from Hobby Lobby. I will link it down below because half off. It's a decent price if you consider how expensive fake trees are, or plants. And then my bookshelf right here, or bookcase, is probably one of my favorite parts of my summer decor. I did it in sort of a vintage horse or equestrian theme. I had been planning to do that since about last fall. I've been collecting a few horse-themed items. So I'll go ahead and give you a close-up of all of that. Actually, this clock on top is a recent find. I got it on a online auction for only $5 because the pieces are falling off, and we just kind of put it back together and it works fine. Well, no, the clock doesn't work, but it looks fine. I think the brand is E. Ingram. So I'll go ahead and open up this case here so we can see all the close-up details. So on this top shelf here has this framed horse print This was the first kind of vintage horse theme item that I have found. That was $5 from a thrift store, so that kind of started or inspired the whole collection. Then I've just put some old paintbrushes in an ironstone, I think that's called a biscuit jar. I put this here because this is actually horsehair, so I thought that was fitting. And then this is a jam jar. I got that off an online website, and I thought that was so pretty, I had to have it. And then down here, I wanted to display these two mugs somewhere. These are ones that I found at Goodwill. This one has like a horse and carriage, and then I think they just remind me of Dundee jars, and that kind of fits this theme, so I put those here. And then this antique black beauty book. There's actually a cast iron, like iron trivet behind that, but it's hard to see. And then I've put some rolled up music sheets here under this, or on top of this really cute dresser scarf. Over here, there's a cast iron horse. This was originally attached to something, but when I purchased it, it was missing that piece, so it is hard to stand up. So I just kind of have it leaning on these books right here. All of these books, I think, came from the Goodwill bins. And then down on this shelf, I have an ironstone tureen with some wood shoe forms, a platter. I like to style that music book open just to kind of add something to the back. I actually printed this horse print. I printed it out off of my Pinterest, I think, and I just stuck it in a wood frame. Here's my Dundee jar with some vintage scissors, some more books, and a cute little horse figurine. And then down here, I always just keep this picnic basket because this bottom shelf is such an awkward size, and then the bottom of the door covers up most of it, so this is just what works well here. And then on the door here, I've hung 2 skeleton keys. Here's just an overview of the entire living room and dining room before I show you everything up close. This is kind of what I want to call a cozy corner because I imagine it's a corner, even though it's technically not. This chair is new on this channel. I've posted it on Instagram, but my mom found it at her dumpster where she lives, and it also had like a little settee couch, but I couldn't fit that. She knew that I was on the hunt for a chair like this, so she grabbed it for me, which I'm so happy about. I wish I knew how to recover furniture without messing it up because I would do more of like a canvas look, but I think it's beautiful. I'm happy to have it, and especially for free. And then next to that, I've put this vintage sewing desk and just a few pretty things on top. This panoramic photo I recently got for $35. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a lot of these things. Sometimes I post things before they end up on my channel. But for this space, I want to find another one, maybe a little smaller or bigger, and I'll just swap them out so that I can have another one to kind of fill out this wall here. And then back here on this little, I don't even know what to call this little nook, I'm not crazy about it. I wish it was just a wall, but I'm hoping to find maybe like a cool vertical mirror to put there. But for now, I just put that little bird cage with some candles inside. The guest bedroom is back here, but it is not finished yet. I didn't do anything special on the couch. I honestly just threw that throw pillow on there because I knew I was going to be filming this, but we don't keep throw pillows on the couch because we just sit here too much and they just get thrown all over the floor. So yeah, it stays bare like this, and the dogs like to lay on each end of those pillows, which is why they're all squished down. I also didn't do anything on the coffee table because we eat here, we do everything here. So it just makes sense for it not to be cluttered up with decor. This is the next thing we are hunting for, is a new coffee table to match kind of everything else. We DIY'd this ourselves a few years ago now, and it's just seen better days. So hopefully we can come across something that we like that matches the style of our house a little better. This rug is from Amazon. I'll link it down below. I love it. It has that like faded vintage look. And then our couch is from Star Furniture. I've had people ask about it before, and I've linked it, but if it's available, I'll link that down below as well. Here is the other side where the couch faces, the fireplace side. Up here, I'm not 100% in love with this, but I really didn't know what else to do because I don't like the look of a lot of things above the TV. I definitely don't want a shelf. I don't want to do a gallery wall. So really this is the only thing I could come up with. I did this at the last house on a different wall. So I'll probably just leave it up until I can just come up with something that I like better. This TV stand is from Wayfair, I think. I'm hoping to come across an antique, maybe like a buffet, I think that's what they're called, that matches closer to this color here, because I think that would be so pretty, and it'll elevate the TV more and give it height and fill up the space better. Down here, all I've done is just fill up an old crate with some of my vintage Bibles. Okay, and moving on to the fireplace area. Well, at the bottom I just put 2 picnic baskets. I didn't want to clutter it up with a bunch of decor. I just really want things to feel like I have room to walk around. I don't want to look in every corner and every space and see just decor everywhere. So for now, I just put the 2 baskets, and then maybe closer to fall and Christmas, I'll add some more stuff on either side. But moving up to the mantle, you may remember this mirror from a garage sale video recently, or it was just a haul video. I found that at a garage sale for $10. And then the mantle decor, in my head, I saw it looking completely different, inspired by tons of things that I've seen on Pinterest. But as I was decorating it, nothing was coming together. I just decided to kind of stop and just fill it with things that I think are pretty and remind me of like a summer feel. So that's what I've done. I've just added a collection of items and kind of a green and brass theme. So I'll show you some close-ups of those things. Okay, moving over to the dining room section. It is very small, very narrow, so you may notice that we have a different table. We did have one of those big round, like farmhouse style tables, kind of like the coffee table, where it was wood on top and painted white on bottom. I did not like that for this space because it was so round and it just took up too much space. So I found this one on an auction. It was not necessarily cheap. I think I paid 60 something for it, but I liked that the leaves come out, or they could fold down, then it could get even smaller. And I just really liked the details. It has really cool casters on it, wood casters with cast iron hardware. And when I was researching it, that said 1700s, but I don't know if I think it's that old. I am kind of struggling with the finish. Or whatever sealer was used on it, because it's really hard to clean, and we have to use coasters on it or it gets the ring marks, and it gets scratched really easily. So if you have any recommendations for what I can do to fix that, please let me know, because I know nothing about furniture and how to protect it, seal it, or all that. So anyways, on top of the table, I have to say that this is inspired by something that I saw on Pinterest. I will link my Pinterest board down below, because a lot of times I'll be on Instagram and I will share things that I like from Instagram onto my Pinterest. So you can go on there and just see tons of things that I've pulled inspiration from. But I love this Longaberger basket, kind of just filled up with things like a rolling pin. There's salt and pepper shakers, plates, and then this really beautiful ironstone pitcher. These hydrangeas are from Amazon. They'll be linked down below as well. And then up here on either side of the wall, I've put some rug beaters. I like them kind of by the back door, as if you were to just kind of grab one and go outside and clean your rug. And then on this side, there's a really pretty kind of moody oil painting that I love. Sorry for all the backlighting. These windows make it kind of hard for the camera to focus. So on this wall, this is really the only space that I had to hang a shelf so I could use some of my kitchen decor. Garrett's already hit his head on this wall twice, which is why it's not hung centered. I wanted to leave as much space as possible here so anyone coming around the corner would not smack their head into it. But so far it's working out fine. And I've just added some different kind of vintage ironstone pieces or just white porcelain pieces that I love. And then I wanted to add that oil painting somewhere, and I thought it matched nicely with the one over here on the wall. Okay, now we'll move into the kitchen, which is the darkest room in the house because there's no window. So bear with me, I will try my best to get the lighting to cooperate and show you guys everything that I've done in there. So here's how it looks as you're sort of walking in. There's obviously another entrance right over there when you're walking in the door. So the countertops make it really hard to decorate because I'm so used to using dark woods and just different wood items, so it can really make it feel really dark in here. I would love to just paint the cabinets white. I actually did try contact paper on here. I tried it on this side, but I didn't like how it looked, and I just knew after a few months it would start to peel up, especially once it got wet, and I didn't want to waste money because counter or contact paper can be really expensive. So we're just going to deal with it. This is what we've been blessed with, and one day I'll have a kitchen, my dream kitchen, hopefully. So in this corner, we have the coffee pot, Keurig, and I did my best to kind of cover the cord because the Keurig plug sticks out so far that it can't sit flush with the wall, and that really bothers me. So I've put it in the corner and then used some cutting boards and this little cookbook holder to kind of cover up the cord situation. This is a vintage cookbook, and I've just opened it to where it says breads. I love those little drawings. I think they're super cute. Got some Homer Laughlin cups and plates, an antique cutting board, and then a little sprig of greenery. So over here, we've just placed a crock with some vintage utensils. I haven't done a ton of decor on any of the countertops. We like having all the space that we need to cook or just use it for storage when we're bringing groceries home. You know, coming from the last house where there was a third of this space, yeah, we like having it really cleared out. So, like I said, there's just some vintage utensils in this crock that's just for decor. And then in this corner here, I have a little vintage hobnailed lamp. I don't have it plugged in right now just so the cord wasn't everywhere, but this adds a nice kind of cozy light at night. And then this basket is where we put fruit and vegetables, which there's nothing in it right now. Up here, oh, there's me in my awful outfit. I'm wearing pajamas. Sorry for the glare of the ring light. I'll try to do some close-up shots over this. But up here, I did something on top of the refrigerator. I've never actually done anything on top of my refrigerators before. But I thought, why not? I put another crock with some rolling pins and some mashers, some more plates. I just wanted it to look kind of like, you know, when you're using it as a storage space, but it's pretty. So this is kind of storing the decor that I'm not using right now, but it's still arranged in a really pretty vignette. And then above this door, or this is the pantry, I put this beautiful antique ironstone platter with so much beautiful crazing and patina. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever found thrifting. So we've hung that above the door here. And then over here, this is actually a new find. I got this on an online auction for $6. Really pretty Grace print. I know these are super popular, so I was surprised nobody else was bidding on it. There is a little spot that I'm just going to try to fill in with some brown or black paint. I love his green shirt. So here is the other side of the kitchen where the sink and dishwasher are. So over here I don't do any decor because this is honestly where I set my purse. We throw our keys here, and this is kind of a catch-all area. The trash can's right down here, so It just makes more sense for this to be clear. Have my diffuser here, and then over in this corner, this was a recipe box holder. It came with 2 little shelves, but I usually just use it like this. So I put some little pitchers and creamers, pretty ironstone dishes, my salt and pepper collection, and then my favorite little vintage timer. I love how rusty and cute it is. You guys have seen that plenty of times here on my channel. This little nightlight is from Amazon. It will be linked down below. It's like a little, kind of like an oil lamp or one of those little candles that they would carry around back in the day. And then right here I've just layered some cutting boards because there's another outlet. This kitchen has tons of outlets, which is great when you need it, but I try to cover them up as much as possible. So there's one behind here that these are covering up, and then I wanted to display all of my vintage spoons in this ironstone pitcher. And then honestly, I've just placed some more plates, platters, different things that I thought looked cute. And then this side of the kitchen, these cabinets are actually where I store a lot of my kitchen decor, so it's easier to just pull from when I am decorating the kitchen. And then of course there's this big opening where you can see into the living room, and we like to watch TV while we're doing the dishes or cooking. It's kind of convenient. I didn't think I was gonna like it at first because it's just random, this big cutout. I don't know, but it does help give it a more open feel. So here's just another view of the living room from this way. And that is gonna be it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing how I've decorated everything for the summer season. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming content, and I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye.